right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. It is just harmless little me, Dave, the Real Music Observer, observing real music in real time for, you guessed it, real people just like you and just like me. Lindsey Buckingham's relationship with Fleetwood Mac as far as a business partnership. That is the focus of this video. It has been brought to my attention, and by the way, if you look early on, when I started ranting and raving about this topic, I was saying that I couldn't understand how this could happen in a situation where everybody is on equal footing in this group. In other words, there should be tenure, okay, at this point. To use an education analogy, there should be tenure. Lindsey Buckingham should be like a tenured professor of musicology at the University of Fleetwood Mac, and at this stage in his career, in his illustrious career, not only does he get, honorary degrees and so forth, but he should be pretty much insulated from the mutiny that occurred via Stevie Nicks and the management team, really. When the management team orchestrates a phone call where the guy at the top, spooks Lindsey and says, "Hey, what did you do now?" And Lindsey's like, "What? Why?" He had no clue as to what he had done. That, by the way, getting out, Lindsey actually putting that in the interview when he was on the CBS Sunday morning show. That getting out made it look as though Lindsey had been problematic to these people for just decades, since, Tusk came out and, it only sold 5 million double album copies, and everybody went into a panic because it wasn't Rumors Part 2. Look, folks, the bottom line with this arrangement is it should have been where Lindsey couldn't get fired. He should have had equal stake in this. No person fires another person in the group without a band consensus. And we didn't have that. We had one person say, this other person doesn't want to do X, Y, and Z, which was false. Okay, first of all, she made a false accusation. All right. And then, somebody comes alongside who has a financial interest, namely Mick Fleetwood, and says, hey, yeah, I can go along with this narrative and we can construct this, and I love this guy Neil Finn, I want to bring him in, and then Stevie wants to bring, and I think she wanted to bring Mike Campbell in the day after Tom Petty passed away. I think that was her intention very early on, to say, hey, this is an opportunity to get somebody that I like in the group instead of dealing with this tyrant who has been, really difficult to work with since I broke up with him, and that's kind of the whole narrative. That's everything. But the bottom line is this shouldn't have been some kind of ad hoc relationship, in the sense that when the band goes on tour or they have business dealings or they're going to record music and so forth, Lindsey should be an equal player in all of that, and there shouldn't have been this easy dismissal thing that happened. Of course, a lawsuit was filed, and that's why I think they settled out of court, because there were no real firm documents. The paperwork was fuzzy. It wasn't well written up, and I think that's why, if they had taken it to court, it probably would have been a larger bloodbath for Fleetwood Mac, because Lindsey said, hey, it wasn't exactly what I wanted, but it was enough of what I wanted, and I made my point, and I sent a message. And obviously he's protecting his art and his creativity, and the fact that this was really unjust and unfair, which I've been saying all along. It is really sad that these guys can't sit down with, an attorney and hammer something out that's where everybody is all for one and one for all. But I have a hunch that this is why this happened, because we knew that the relationship between Stevie and Lindsey was always volatile. And I think we also knew that if she got fed up with it, she could pretty much call the shots because there were no real firm arrangements. And that's really sad for Lindsey. Let's just hope Lindsey recovers. You know what I mean? Let's hope the voice recovers and he's able to play guitar and life is good for Lindsey Buckingham again. Because obviously Fleetwood Mac has shown themselves to be not a trustworthy player in this whole thing. And, you know, their management, I don't know. You know, I just shake my head. And I wish there were more managers and more competition in this business, including the live concert industry and the vending and the ticket sales, Ticketmaster, and everything else that is pretty much owned by one person. All right. Okay, done with this video. Be back soon. See ya.